Hey Weirdos, this is Evan Jarvix with Make Oklahoma Weirder, and this is your local music vlog for the week. It's Friday afternoon, May the 24th, and I think the big story this week has to be Adam and Kizzy. My opinion, we do have a Paseo Arts Fest going on, but Adam and Kizzy, if you don't know, recently announced that they would be moving away from Oklahoma and heading out west to Los Angeles, to California, to Hollywood. Where a lot of people have headed. Honestly, we've just this year. I mean, I can count on more than one hand the number of artists that we've lost, and a lot of them have been out west. Anyway, Adam and Kizzy are having a farewell show tomorrow, Saturday night at Tower Theater. And it's kind of a big deal. It's a big deal artist whenever they're headlining a show at Tower Theater on a Saturday. That's not something that just anybody can do. So if you don't know Adam and Kizzy, please, check them out before they go, because they're an amazing duo, and I'm sure they're going to be playing with a full band. Yeah, they've been involved here for a long time, a number of years, and have just done incredible things. And I always feel like they never quite got their due, which can honestly be said for a large amount of Oklahoma artists, and that is why a lot of them end up moving away and seeking greener pastures to further their craft and further their careers. Completely understand it, completely empathize with it, but it's always kind of sad to see them go. But Adam and Kizzy, if you don't know, are a husband-wife duo that have been here for, like I said, a number of years, and have gone through a number of sound changes, at least as long as I've been kind of paying attention. You can definitely trace elements of, soul and gospel and jazz and things like that, but I wouldn't really put them in any one box as far as the genre goes, especially since their last album cycle, which Three Do, their third album, came out last year and was my number one album of the year. If you really want to hear me glow about their music, go read my review. I put a lot of effort into my Big 50 last year, and so you can check that out on the website, makeoklahomaweirder.com. Jarvix's Big 50. Adam and Kizzy made my number one album of the year last year, and a large reason of that is just because they're an artist that continually does something that I don't see anybody else do, especially in Oklahoma, but even beyond that. And I feel like this last album really fascinatingly kind of reverse engineered their own sound and kind of built it from the ground up in a new way, in a way that was really refreshing and different and kind of head-turning. Very minimalist in some ways, definitely crafted on loops, lots of resourcefulness. The music's largely comprised of vocals and vocal samples and some keyboard work, but for the most part, very limited to just what the two could do individually. Anyway, I've got a whole review about it, but even before that, whenever I finally listened to the first two albums they put out, which are the Book of Edu Volume 1 and 2, 2 in particular, I remember hearing about it. I remember knowing that Adam and Kizzy was a thing when this stuff was coming out, but it wasn't really buzzed about. People weren't really calling these albums like must listens, but like at the time, I think I was listening to more of the indie rock stuff, like what Talos was putting out and what Dear People was putting out. But whenever I finally got around to the Edu series, I was really taken by what they were doing, and in my opinion, their work is just as worthy of that sort of buzz, but never really seemed to get it, at least in my sphere of consciousness, which I'll admit was a lot smaller, 5 years ago. But since then, I've just, always been taken by the artistic choices that Adam and Kizzy makes. It's not your everyday music. I mean, they really draw inspiration from a lot of different sources and try a lot of different things. I know the first time that I saw them live was at one of those Devon Tower Twilight Sunday night concert series shows, and I know Adam was like on a big vocoder kick at the time. I don't remember them doing much with the loops. And, that was a few years ago. And, like, if you were to listen to them today, they almost sound like an entirely different group. And it's just really inspiring to see an artist not settle, to continually evolve and continually grow and push the boundaries of their own craft, while also pushing the boundaries of, what Oklahoma music can be. I mean, the stuff that Adam Ledbetter alone has been involved with, like, the past couple of years, I haven't even been able to keep up. He's had his jazz shows with the Ledbetter Jazz Ensemble shows. They've done shows with the Search Committee, which is their brass band, hip-hop band. I know that there was like an Adam and JB show that happened at one point that I missed. But there's just, there's a lot of this stuff that goes on, and it's a lot to keep up with. And I unfortunately haven't kept up with all of it because I still never saw the Search brass band. But anyway, maybe they'll make an appearance tomorrow night. Hopefully they will. But Adam and Kizzy just really feel like they never quite got their props. I know OK Sessions has done a great job in kind of boosting them since they've been around for the past couple of years. But other than them, I feel like the press has been kind of limited. I know they got on NPR last year, which shout out to KOSU and Ryan LaCroix for making that happen, for getting them on the national spotlight. But a lot of what they've done has just been, through their own efforts. And even then, it's like they've shown just how great, you can be as an Oklahoma artist. And it's just, there's still so many people I'll just come across, on the street who have no idea who they are. And it's like, what more can you do than what these two people have done? But I just wanted to give a very glowing shout out to Adam and Kizzy. Thank you for everything you've done for us here in the scene, and I wish you just the best of the best in your future endeavors elsewhere. That show, by the way, that's happening tomorrow, there's, I think, 3 other artists on there. I looked them up. 2 of them are from Dallas, so I don't really know anything about them, but they look pretty legit. And then Cookie Turner is also on this bill, which is really cool because Cookie Turner is kind of a success story in this same vein, where I mostly know her because of LTZ's music, because she features on a couple of his bigger hits. But she moved out to California fairly recently, and apparently she is in Kanye West's Sunday School ensemble, the choir. If you've been following the Kanye West stuff that's been cropping up here this year, Cookie Turner is involved with that. I didn't even know that until I started looking at this show. So, yeah, there's definitely greener pastures out there in California. So, with that said, with almost all my time gone, if you are going to the Paseo Arts Fest this year, there's always lots of music out there. I think you should check out All for More on Saturday. They're from Tulsa, and they're kind of making waves down here in Oklahoma City. I saw them a couple weeks back, and they're awesome, and you should make a point to see them for sure. And if you haven't seen Mad Honey yet, they're playing on Sunday. Make a point to see Mad Honey as well. I mentioned, okay, I just have no time. I have not yet shouted out Medisin's new album. It's been out for probably a couple of months, but I listened to it again recently, and it's just, this guy's maybe my favorite producer in Oklahoma right now. He's just, if you really dig stuff that kind of plays with, he does a lot of pitch shifting stuff, but in a tasteful way. Lots of auto-tune stuff, but in a tasteful way. Very kind of soul-centric. if you dig the production of like a Kanye West in more recent times, or James Blake, check him out for sure.